Hey, I understand being
Before
there.
we start sharing.
Nazi.
Well, let's see.
Let's see.
So, I just start?
Mhm.
Okay. So, I just wanted to, my introduction. So, as you guys probably know, because I'm related to most of you, my name is Nazanine McDonald, and this is my first TPOL. Some things about me: I love going to concerts, I speak 3 languages fluently, and I listened to 117,928 minutes of music last year. Wow. Yeah, top 99%. Anyways, okay. So I just wanted to include some pictures just of people that are important to me, mostly just my family, and then some people from school, so Eva and Nadia. But yeah, I saw these pictures on my phone and I was like, I kind of need to put, this one's my favorite. I kind of need to put those on there. But I guess I will begin with my speech portion. So, Plato once said, "Rhythm and harmony find their way into the inward places of the soul." I cannot imagine a life without music. Every time the record spins and the music plays, I'm in a new dimension. Even when going to school during tests, and almost every single second of every single day, I'm listening to music. Concerts are just one of the examples of how music really mends the soul in a way. People sing along to songs that they know by heart and release all of their love and emotions into melody. I recently went to see a K-pop group this past weekend called Twice. It was honestly an out-of-this-world experience, and I sang and screamed so much that although I'm tired, I've never felt more alive. It was life-changing to see all of these people connect over music in such a way that they did at that concert. And in the end, music has mended my soul in a way that nothing else has, because even since I was little, it was my mom singing, hearing the share CDs my mom would play on the way to school. It was always a big part of me, and it still is. If you could just scroll down a little bit to the next section, to about me. There we go. It takes many years to master anything, whether that's an instrument, a skill, or a language. Things like this generally take a lot of time. It's hard to believe that I spent an entire decade of my life immersed in a language like French. I started learning it when I was 5 and continued on to learning it throughout 8th grade, eventually passing the AP exam. This was definitely a challenge for me, as most big tests like that are, but it was not only hard because it was 6 hours long, proctored by an actual proctor, but it was a college-level exam, and I was just an 8th grader. Nonetheless, I got through it, and I'm so grateful that I had such an amazing opportunity to do something that advanced at such a young age. With this, I've met so many amazing people that I will love and cherish for the rest of my life. Like my former English teacher, Miss Holing, she's right there. I always considered her the older sister that I never had, as we are not that far in age. I talk about her every chance that I get, and I will always be there for her like she was for me. I remember when I went on the Europe trip my school held, and she was on the trip as well. I just remember how we talked for hours on the plane, how we went to go get a coffee when my luggage was stolen, and how she was there to comfort me when I was ridden with anxiety, and how I was there to comfort her when she thought she caught COVID on the trip. I will eternally cherish the memories I made with her, and I hope I can make memories like that with people here in the future. You could just scroll down, there we go. Horrible picture of me, okay. Ever since I was young, I never really had large friend groups. It was always just 1 or 2 people that I hung around, but this year that changed. I was in a completely new, foreign environment, and it was the scariest experience of my life. I knew absolutely no one. But as I slowly got to know my community, I slowly got new friends and more people who I felt like I could be myself around. ASB was one of the things that really pushed me to make friends, and now I have met people that I will never forget. People that have pushed me to become a better person and really helped me reach out to new people and be more comfortable with others and myself. I was always able to talk to them about anything I wanted, whether it was something that was bothering me or just wanting to talk about something that interested me. And thanks to those people, my high school experience was a lot easier for me, and I'm eternally grateful for them. I was so scared of high school, but after finishing my first year, it doesn't seem so scary anymore. If you scroll down a little bit, I added some more pictures of everybody. This one's my personal favorite, the one of Renee. He put a hanger on his head and started waving at me through the camera, and I figured I would embarrass myself in front of everybody that I knew. But yeah, these are just a lot of the people that I met, like Tiffany, Eva, and me and Lexi. Most of them, I think all of them are in ASB except for Renee. But yeah, on to improvement plan. Okay. So if you scroll down a little bit, I have like the captions of the pictures. So the only goal I had this year for myself was to get through my first year of high school and my first year at High Tech High Chula Vista. I knew that transitioning to project-based learning would not be easy for me at all, and I was more than right. There are many things I still don't understand about it, but I feel like I've gotten the hang of it a little bit. In the end, I knew that it would be hard to even get through the year, so I set the goal for myself to pass or get all A's in my classes to challenge and motivate me through the year. As for strategies, mostly what I did was just to not push too far beyond my limit in a way that would burn me out. I knew that if I gave everything my 150%, I would be completely unmotivated by the end of the year. So instead of doing that, I tried my best on a lot of assignments, but not to the point where it would get me to that point of being so unmotivated that I wouldn't even try. So the habit I wanted to improve on this year was compassion. And I know that Mr. Ted always talked about how that's the hardest habit to show evidence for. So after a very long time, I finally came up with some ways that I became more of a compassionate person. And so I started the year in a bad place. I was in a completely new and foreign environment, and I was just nervous and alone. By the end, I wanted to feel like I was a part of a community, and the only way I would be able to do that would be by being a better person to the people around me. I knew that I wouldn't improve on this habit this year. I knew that I would to a certain extent, but not completely over the course of this year. Things like this take time, and thinking that you're going to 100% get better by changing your habits in your course of action is, in my opinion, a pretty toxic way of thinking. But yeah, so obviously I did not 100% improve on this habit, but I feel like I really tried this year to kind of motivate myself to improve on it in the first place. And so these are just 3 things that I felt that really helped me with that. So the first one would be the Monarch Pool fundraiser that I helped set up for with my sister. I wish I had more pictures, but I only have this one and like a video of me showing the same exact thing. But me and my sister, we went after school to help Mr. Ted set up for this fundraiser. We were like, I think the first people there. And not that many people showed up, but we made do with what we had, and we still had fun nonetheless. And then the second thing I wanted to talk about was our Light on Literacy project. So basically I chose this because, I wanted to choose this because I felt like it really showed, it was one of the projects that really showed compassion the most, because we're talking with these kids and kind of getting their interests and then making and engineering a box from scratch with their interests in mind. And I really thought that that was a really nice project and really helped with me being a more compassionate person, especially towards someone who's younger than me, which I'm not used to at all. And the third thing I wanted to talk about was ASB. ASB, honestly, I kind of applied last second. I didn't think I was gonna get in, but honestly, I'm glad that I did get in because it's one of the best things that has ever happened to me. It really helped me become a better person and just a better person to others and myself, because it's leadership, but also meeting such amazing people that I know that I'll be able to talk to and be my mentors for the rest of my life. But yeah, when it comes to actual human emotions, I find it really difficult to document. Of course, there are pictures, but I feel like it only scratches the surface, as only that person knows how they really felt in that picture. I don't have much evidence to prove that I've become a better person, because in the end, that's all up to the interpretation of other people. But in my opinion, I believe that I've become someone a lot better than I was last year.
Okay.
All right, so here we go. Ready for the math
Oh,
problem?
am I going over here? Okay, fine.
Number three. So you
Oh,
doing
okay.
your problem up on the board. I'll show the problems for you. Actually, it's right there.
Oh,
And you're just kind of teaching us your process.
okay. So our solution, what we want to find is x and y. So we want to find the coordinate that intersects both lines. So this equation, it's not easy, but we have to figure out x and y by doing that. So what we're gonna start, I'm gonna write it bigger on this side, just so people can see. What's nice about this one is that we can already cancel out. So we want to add these two together to get that point of intersection, and by doing that we already eliminate y, which is process of elimination. So if I were to do that, just add them together, 6x plus x is 7x, We don't add the y because it's 0, and then it would equal 7. And then we want to isolate x, which means we have to divide by 7 because it's the opposite of multiplication. So because you're multiplying 7 by x, that's what 7x is. So by dividing 7, you get x alone. So we divide by 7 on both sides, and then that equals 1, which means x equals 1. But we're not done because we still have to find out what y is. So usually I just like to see like which one would be the easiest one to do. So we'll go here. So we already know our x, which is 1, so it'd be 1 plus y equals 4. You could do it the hard way, or you could do it the common sense way, which is 3. So 1 plus 3 equals 4, which means y equals 3, and our coordinates are 1, 3. Mathematician, guys. Ooh, that's horrible.
And
Oh, right.
how do you check your solution? Can you show us how to do that?
So by checking, so the way that you kind of check the solution to see if it's right or not. So I guess we'll do the hard way then, because I guess the common sense way doesn't really show that. So let's say we have here. I'm gonna just erase what I did. So stop. Okay. So we have 1 plus y equals 4. If we were to do it the hard way, all we would do. So we want to eliminate 1. So then we just do minus 1, because what you do on one side, you want to do on the other. And so then it would be y equals 3, which is kind of proving your equation in a way. And it's still 1, 3. And then I guess, but yeah, is that how you check the solution, right? Or are you looking for something?
Usually it's you plug in.
Oh, you want me to do the graph?
You go through, right? You plug it into both equations
Yeah.
to make sure that.
Oh, got you. Okay.
Yeah, you did it for one.
And so
that
you could do
one,
it for
yeah.
one. That's usually just the way I do it, because usually if it's right for one, it's usually right for the other. But in some cases it's not. So I guess we could plug it into the other one.
Or if you made a mistake or something.
Yeah.
You check
So I guess we'll do that. So since we have our x, which is 1, we would do 6. Oh, that's way too close. Okay. We'll do it over here. We will do 6 times 1 minus y equals 3. 6 times 1,
Or
6.
what is 3 actually? I
Huh?
mean, what is y?
Oh,
Yeah, you put in.
Oh, you want- okay,
put
gotcha.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
put
yeah,
x
yeah,
and x and y in. So you're just proving that it works.
yeah. My bad.
That's
Okay.
All. That's all.
So we would do 6 times 1 x, since x is our 1, that's what we do, minus y is 3 equals 3, and so since 6 minus 3 equals 3.
Check. So that's how you check. Yep.
Yep, my
Great.
bad.
No. That's good.
Mathematician.
Yeah, Mr. A was like, oh, we need to check it, man.
Oh, yeah,
all
no.
right.
Gotcha.
So,
Oh,
okay,
yes,
go ahead and erase that if you don't mind, and we can move on. So we're probably gonna not get a lot of questions in, but I really, I know I talk to you a lot, so I don't have too many questions.
Yeah.
In terms of, but I have one question is, let's see.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
let's see.
yeah. We're interviewing you, should we
Interview.
hire you for 10th grade is the question.
Rough stuff.
So Diego, and you had other people in your team for the Light on Diversity project, and you had Diego next to you, and for the longest time, I would say about half the project, and he would walk away, and I would notice that the communication between him and you was very limited.
Yeah.
Even though you were working on your own, right? The point was to work with some other people.
Exactly.
That were out of your wheelhouse. No wheelhouse, but friendship group. So did that improve? How did that go through the project?
Even though he did get up a lot, I did help him a lot because he was kind of lost because I think he was also working alone. So he really needed help on a lot of the things like soldering and stuff like that and like Tinkercad. And so I'm glad that I was there. Like to be there for him because he really needed help and I was there to help him. So even though he was getting up a lot, I still feel like we did do a decent job about being like a partnership. But what's funny is that we were put together on a lot of projects this year, like chain reaction, we were together, light on literacy, we were together, and then for some reason we sit together in like every class. So eventually we just became like really good friends, and so now we have like the same friend group. But yeah.
That's cool, actually. What is your what is one strength that you discovered about Diego throughout the year?
I would say that he's really good at like academically or like personally.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, you gathered from the academics. So
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I know that he's more of like a humanities person because he likes to write a lot. Because we sit together in humanities too, like recently, and he has a lot of really good ideas, and he knows how to like process that and write them down. Because we do like morning prompts and stuff, and we like share out, and he's really well spoken about like humanities stuff. I would say he's good in math, but he comes to my table like every single day and asks for help. But I do help him, and I hope he's able to understand what's going on. But yeah.
Okay, good. There was a video that was made in class that had you and him working together, and I was like, oh, that's sorry, wrong one. And I was gonna ask about humanities because I don't know what to do in humanities really. But what is one assignment that you really, man, I was really proud of it. I almost burned myself out because I did so much.
Yeah. So honestly, even though it was at the beginning of the year, I would say it was the fall of the House of Usher annotations. Because even though we did write a few essays throughout the year, that comes really naturally to me as someone who's loved humanities and writing my entire life. And a lot of people struggle with that, but I would be lying if I said it was like challenging and almost burned myself out for it. Like, if you scroll down, I included my Josephine Baker essay. I didn't, whatever. Okay, it's like 6 pages long, and it was really fun to write because I'm someone who loves doing like research and then typing it out on like a report and stuff like that. And so that came easily to me, but I know that the House of Usher annotations, I would volunteer at my old school a lot, and during that time I was talking to my teacher. I was like, dang, like I'm really struggling. This is really hard because you can't tell me that half of that is not filler. Like that is literally an entire page of filler. And so you really had to like go between the lines and be like, what is this guy actually talking about? Because he's literally speaking in riddles. So it was a really hard thing. She was so surprised when I told her we were annotating it because she's like, I didn't like read that book until I was in college. And I'm like, yeah, but it was really hard. But I knew that if I worked hard on the annotations, I would really get to understand it. And I didn't know what the assignment would be at the end of it, like an essay or a presentation. It ended up being a presentation. But I really wanted to make sure that I had the information that I needed. And I really felt like I understood that in my annotations.
That's great. Yeah, I love. Actually, I started reading that in maybe 10 or 12. Edgar Allan Poe. That's where I discovered the love of Poor.
Poor's
That
cool.
guy, man. Oh,
yeah.
But I think he's known for one paragraph that is huge. It's one sentence. I can't remember what it's in. But anyway, great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, I have only great things to say about the work that I've seen you do all year. I'm really appreciative of you helping, me out, and I hope that was a good experience for you. I hope I can tap you on the shoulder again. It'd be really great if you're up for it.
Yeah.
And there's other things too that I think a lot of students need to, or I want to stretch themselves and continue to develop your leadership. So yeah, I think I can't say enough about everything that you've done, and you do great work. I'm glad that I pushed you to do the sound part, and I'm glad I did that because there's a video of the teacher took, and she was just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing, because that never was there before, even though I offered it as a challenge option forever. So my only thing would be make sure to talk to your teachers and ask for those challenges, because I think in a lot of ways this might have been too easy for you.
Yeah.
And I think you could have pushed yourself to, also when it was easy. But I'm glad that you're taking care of yourself and knowing not to burn yourself out.
Yeah.
I can tend to do that work too hard, and
Oh, yeah. That's why I was in 8th grade. So I was like making sure. I was like, I need to not do that this year.
That's probably why it was 2 weeks ago I was sick and now I'm 16. Probably that.
Yeah.
Just doing too much. Congratulations, you're on 10th grade now.
Thank
Wow,
you.
congratulations! Really proud of you, Nazi. You did a great job.
You? Well, see, the problem is
Yeah.
we both they have to both go, and we're behind schedule.
Yes, unfortunately,
We have
'cause-
a very
yeah.
big